Hey folks, Philly Boy J here, back with another recipe. And today I'm going to show you guys a super delicious salad recipe that my aunt used to always bring to the family cookouts. This is the salad that she was actually known for because this is what she always brought. This is all she ever brought. I don't think she could cook anything else. But this salad is really, really good. I want to show you guys how to make it because Labor Day is coming up, and I think this would be the perfect salad to bring to a Labor Day cookout. The ingredients you're going to need are spaghetti. I recommend you use thin spaghetti. You're going to need creamy Italian dressing. You're going to need imitation crab meat. This is leg style imitation crab meat. That's basically the crab meat you can pull into strings. You're going to need some large size shrimp. You can use whatever size shrimp you like. You can use like salad size shrimp or small shrimp. But this is cooked, deveined, large size shrimp. I believe they're deveined and pre-cooked because they're orange. And you're going to need lobster meat. This is chunk style lobster meat, okay? The other ingredients you're going to need are grape tomatoes, but you can use a regular tomato and chop it up into small pieces. You're going to need a red onion. You guys know I always put red onions in my salads just to give them color. So I use them for decoration purposes, as I always say. But if you only have a yellow or white onion on hand, that is perfectly fine. You can use those too. You're going to need a cucumber, some vegetable oil for your pasta water, and a bunch of seasonings. Don't these seasonings just look pretty? Well, I came up with these combinations of seasonings myself. I think this combination of seasonings really work well for this particular salad. So for these seasonings and all the detailed instructions and additional information that you need to know regarding this recipe, visit PhillyJCooking.com. The link to my website and the recipe can be found below in the video description box. All right, so let's move on to the first step. Let's make this salad. Okay folks, so the first thing that we're going to do is cook the spaghetti. So I'm going to add a little salt to this pot here. And I'm going to fill it with cool water. Then I'm going to place it over high heat. Once the water comes to a boil, I'm going to add the spaghetti. I'm going to slice my onions like this. Into thin slices. And then I'm going to chop them up into small pieces. Like this there. Okay, so I'm going to chop my grape tomatoes in half. Sometimes I chop them into pieces of 3. These grape tomatoes are pretty soft because they were sitting in the freezer, so they're kind of hard to chop. But do what I'm doing and chop your grape tomatoes up. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to peel off the skin like this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to slice it down the middle lengthwise like this. And then you're going to scoop out the seeds and discard them. That's if you don't like seeds, like myself. I don't like seeds, so always remove and discard them, okay? And to scoop them out, I'm going to use this little measuring spoon that I have here. And just scoop it out like this. All right? Then I'm gonna turn them over like this. I'm gonna slice them lengthwise like 3 times. Well, 2 times. Should be enough. Then I'm gonna turn it widthwise, I guess this is. And I'm gonna just chop them into small pieces like this here. All right, so you make sure you do the same. I remember one time I went to a cookout. I think it was actually a family cookout, and a friend of the family came over and she made a seafood salad. She brought a seafood salad to the cookout, and she didn't peel the shrimp. I'm like, yo, that's some country stuff. And everybody was eating the salad and they had to remove, when you see people eat the salad, they was pulling shrimp tails out their mouth. I'm like, oh, heck no. Like, that ain't the business. So, if you want to leave your shrimp tails on the shrimp, then you can do that, but I'm not. Right? I want to be able to just eat my salad without having to keep pulling stuff out my mouth. That is not attractive, and it's definitely not what you feel like doing when you're hungry. Okay, so the way that I cut my shrimp is I just cut it 2 times into pieces of 3, like this. Okay, just like that. I cut it 2 times. Now with the lobster meat, I don't really do nothing major with it. I just cut it in half, because I kind of like my lobster meat on the chunky side, so I just chop it a little bit like this. Just do like that. Okay. Okay, now with the crab meat, you can pull it apart into strings like I said earlier, but don't nobody got time for that. And it breaks up when you toss the salad. Okay? So you really don't need to do this. Just get your knife, chop it up like that. Alright? That's it. You actually want to like shred it. Like this. Alright folks, so as you know, I always add whatever I'm boiling to the pot of water before it comes to a rolling boil, okay? Because I don't want the water splashing all over me and burning me. What I did was I broke my spaghetti in half, because I think that is personally hard to eat that way. And it's difficult to fold the spaghetti into the dressing and everything when it's long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the oil. Now you may be wondering why I don't add oil to other pastas that I boil. And that's because spaghetti have a tendency to stick like no other. Okay, so always add oil to the pot. When boiling spaghetti, I'm going to add the spaghetti now, and I'm going to let it cook for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to drain the water immediately, because as I always tell you guys, I do not want to overcook it, and I don't want it to be bloated and soggy. What we're going to do now is remove and drain the spaghetti. As you can see, it's fully cooked. If I let it go any longer, it's going to be real bloated and soggy, just a hot mess, and I don't want that. So I'm going to drain this water immediately. Do not let it sit. One time I was on the phone talking to my homeboy while my spaghetti was boiling. I don't think it was spaghetti, I think it was something else. And I forgot to drain it. I cut the fire off, but I forgot to drain it. And when I came back, it was swell. I mean, that pasta was husky. It looked like it had lift weights or something. Like it was on steroids. I mean, it just got real big. I was like, oh no, I can't put you on my salad. So that's what will happen to your spaghetti if you let it sit in this hot water. It will continue cooking and get real bloated. So always drain your pasta immediately once it's done, okay? I'm going to drain this, and what I'm going to do, because it will continue cooking even though it's not sitting in water, I'm going to run some cool water on it. Stop the cooking process and to speed up the cooling process, what I call it. Okay folks, so this is the last and final step, and this is the funnest part of this recipe, or at least my favorite part, and that's combining all the ingredients. And the reason why it's my favorite part is because that means that the salad is almost done. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add the seasonings to the dressing. And I'm going to whisk it in. This seasoning is off the chain. Okay, next I'm going to add the meat. And I'm going to fold that in really well. Look at that, guys. Look at that. It smells so good. Okay, now I'm going to add these pretty vegetables. And I'm going to fold and stir the vegetables in. Just like that there. Okay, so it's always a little difficult to stir in the spaghetti. So I always add just a little at a time. And I stir it like this. And then I'm going to fold in the remaining spaghetti. And that's pretty much it. We'll stir it in until every bit of the spaghetti is fully coated with this dressing. Okay guys, so there goes my creamy spaghetti seafood salad. I hope you guys enjoy it. No, I know you guys will enjoy it, because this salad is bumping. It's the bomb. It's the bizzity bang bang. The bizzity bomb bomb. So go on to my website, PhillyJCooking.com, to print out the full recipe. Later.